Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So as you can tell by the title of today's video, today I'm going to be filming the second part of my review. Does that make sense? Yes. The second part of my review for the Fenty Beauty skin tints. So in this video, I'm going to be trying the skin tint in the same way that I would wear like a foundation. So I'm going to be putting all of my regular products on top of it. But in my last video, I just used it pretty much on its own with a little bit of primer just to see what it does. So if you want to see that video, I will link it in the description, so you can go ahead and watch that one first. I think that's like a good, order of operations, because I'm not going to give you guys too much information about the pricing and everything like that. I mean, I'll put it on the screen right here, but I'm not really going to be talking about it too much because I did cover that in my last video. I don't want this video to be too long, so let's go ahead and get started. Like I said in my last video, my skin has been so problematic lately for no reason, but this is what my skin looks like up close. You can see I definitely have some uneven texture, uneven skin tone. I have like a blackhead coming out on my cheek, a pimple right beside it. It's a fun time, okay? The whole family is here at the reunions. We're gonna see how the skin tint performs and if it can cover up all of this all day. What the heck is happening to my hair? I don't know, I brought this headband because I thought it might be cute, but now I'm like, do I just look like a child? Whatever, that's what you're getting today. So just to start off, I am gonna go in with some primer, and this is the Milk Makeup Hydrogrip primer. Last time I tried the skin tint, I used a primer from Milani, which was the Chill Out primer. And while that primer is good, I feel like this one might be the most suitable for the skin tint, so I wanted to give it a shot. All right, so I am gonna let that primer just sink into my skin for a little bit. So in the meantime, if I can take it out of the box, let's talk a little bit about the Fenty Beauty skin tint. So I have the skin tint in the shade 13, and this is not my perfect shade, okay? According to the little chart that Fenty Beauty has, this should have been my perfect shade, but it's not. I would probably recommend going one shade darker than that. A lot of people are agreeing with me when I say that it does run a little light, so just be mindful of that. That being said, the shades are flexible, so it's not the end of the world. Like, I can still wear this and I don't think anybody is gonna clock me for it, you know what I mean? But just something to keep in mind. So I'm gonna shake it up because you are supposed to. So I'm gonna take some on my hand just like I did last time. Here's a little refresher if you guys don't remember what this looks like. It is very liquidy, so I don't wanna tilt my hand too much, but this is what the color looks like on my hand. I am gonna start off with just my fingers, which is what I did last time. I do have a foundation brush with me though, so maybe we'll go in with that if I feel like we need it. For fun, I just want to try my brush just to see what will happen, because last time I didn't try using a brush at all. Okay, I'm going to take some on my forehead. Okay, I'm having a problem. Do you guys see what's happening? Hold on, let me see. Right here. I think it picked up. What is happening? What the heck? I think it might have picked up some of my flaky skin. Girl, that did not happen last time. I mean, I got rid of it, but I don't know what that was. Take some right here. And I am gonna take some in my sideburns again. Okay, so this is half of my face pretty much done with just the skin tint. I don't know if it's picking up on camera, but I am seeing in person that this side is definitely looking more blurred, but that is something that I noticed last time as well. I think the reason why it was not pilling up, but I think the reason why it was kind of catching on to my dead skin was because this time I tried to rub it in like a moisturizer, which I didn't do last time, and I think that kind of disrupted it. So don't be like me. Don't rub it in like a moisturizer if you have dry skin, because I think that kind of messed it up. But when I started patting it just like this, everything was fine. So there you go. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and speed up the other side of my face. Okay, I'm not mad at how it looks, but I do want to go in with my beauty blender and just smooth out some of the texture, because like I said, my skin has been very textured lately and I feel like I just need to push it in a little more to be fully satisfied. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And now, just because I do have extra product on my hand, I'm gonna pick some up with my beauty blender. And I'm just gonna go like under my chin, I guess, to even things out, because like I said, this is not my shade. All right, so I'm done applying the skin tint itself. Just being honest here, I feel like my skin is not looking as nice as it did the first time that I tried the skin tint. I feel like maybe this time around my skin is more dry than it was last time. So maybe that's why it's not looking as nice. And like you can see, like, do you see that? That is literally like something that flaked off. Last time it looked really good, but for some reason I am having some trouble this time. But I feel like on my drier areas, it's just not looking too great. So now I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of my makeup. I'm gonna do it on camera, but I'm not going to talk you through it because you don't really care, okay? That's not the point of this video, but I do just wanna show you guys the products that I'm using on top of this. Why is there a hair stuck to my face? I'll only talk if something like weird happens that I wanna, you know, talk about. But otherwise, yeah, just sit back, relax, and enjoy some music. Okay, so that is pretty much it for the base products. I think we're looking pretty good. I did go a little overboard on the blush, but I was using a new blush brush, so not entirely my fault, but you know what? It's kind of a look. So I'm gonna go off camera, put on some mascara and a little bit of a lip, and I will be right back. I do have a couple things that I wanted to mention. I want to talk about this pimple that I have right up here. So it's not really like an active pimple. It popped a couple days ago. Is that gross? Sorry. But it did pop a couple days ago, and I've been using tea tree oil on it to, like, you know, bring it down. And I think the tea tree oil kind of dried out my skin a little bit, and the skin tint isn't really sticking too well to that area. It does look a little flaky right where that like irritated skin is. And as you guys saw, I didn't put any concealer over this, and I barely dusted it with powder, so it shouldn't look as bad as it looks in my opinion. But I do have to say that is the only problem area that I see right now. Like, everywhere else looks really nice. I feel like my other products layered very nicely on top of the skin tint. Also, the issue that I had when I was applying it, that kind of threw me off, because like I said, that did not happen the first time I tried this product. Like, I didn't have those balls. You know what I mean? I didn't have like my skin like rubbing off. I don't know if it was my skin or if the product was maybe building on itself when I was rubbing it like that. So moral of the story, do not rub it in like a lotion. Really, like, you know, pat, 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 blend it out nicely. I do think that was my fault. I don't know why I went in and did that instead of doing what I did last time. You know what? At least now you know, and you will not make that same mistake that I made. But yes, otherwise everything looks really, really nice. Before I set my phone up on this ring light and I checked the time, it was 10:33. So let's just call it 10:30. And that is the time that we are going to be starting this wear test. So that's pretty much it for now. And I guess I will see you guys in a couple hours. Okay, so I'm back for our first check-in of the day. Right before I put my phone on my ring light, the time said 1:30, so that's 3 hours, I think. 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, 1:30, yes. 3 hours. Honestly, I think my skin is looking very, very good for 3 hours of wear. And quite frankly, I feel like it looks better now than it did when I first applied it at 10:30. This product is kind of the opposite of a regular foundation. At least for me, I find that most foundations look really, really good when you first apply them, and then throughout the day they start to, like, you know, break down and not look as good. Whereas with this, I feel like it looks significantly better right now than it did before. Everything looks good, honestly, except my forehead. The last time that I tried the skin tint, I didn't have the texture that I currently have now on my forehead. And I feel like the skin tint really is not meshing well with it. I'm gonna try and give you guys a close up. It's not super noticeable if you're like far away, like from where my phone is right now. My phone is maybe about 3 feet away from me. It doesn't look bad, but up close you can definitely see that there's a little bit of area that doesn't have coverage on it because of the texture of that skin. Everywhere else looks really nice and smooth. Like, I don't have any problems anywhere else. But overall, for 3 hours of wear, I think it's meshing really, really nicely with the rest of my makeup. And I don't know if it's maybe because my skin is like warming up to it and my natural juices are coming through, but I really like how it looks right now. If you have really, really dry skin and you use this as a foundation, I'm not sure how it's gonna look on you. Like, if your whole face is just dry, I feel like you would have to moisturize really, really well and maybe even use like a skincare oil underneath to, like, you know, even out that texture maybe. But overall, I am satisfied and I will see you guys in a little bit. Okay, so I'm back. It is 3 o'clock and this is the last check-in of the day. I have to say I look exactly the same as I did about an hour and a half ago at 1:30. So I don't know, I don't really have anything else to say. I feel like it's held up very nicely underneath the rest of my makeup. And in my opinion, it's wearing the same way that I did in my first wear test, in that it's wearing really well. So I don't see this really breaking apart. I mean, maybe if you wore it for like 12 hours, it would start to break apart. But usually if you are wearing a skin tint, you probably don't have plans for 12 hours, you know what I mean? So I don't think I look like significantly more oily than I did an hour and a half ago. I feel like I look relatively the same. I don't see this going downhill in the next couple of hours. So it's not like fading or anything crazy like that. I'm not really seeing any cracking. I know in some reviews, some people have said that they got really bad cracking around their mouth. I ate like a watermelon, and you know when you eat watermelon, you gotta open your mouth pretty big. And I don't have any like significant cracks on my mouth. Like, this is pretty typical for any foundation. It just looks good. And with that, let's give you my final thoughts. I'm impressed. Considering that it's a skin tint and not a foundation, I am impressed with how it wore throughout the day. Just like I said in my other video, I think it's going gracefully, you know? Like, my oils are not breaking through and disrupting the product at all. Like, it looks pretty good. So yeah, I hope this video was helpful to you. Let me know in the comments if you are thinking of picking this up. Right now there is a sale on Sephora, so I think I might get this in the next shade darker, which is 14, just to give it a shot, you know? One thing that I wanted to say before I close off this video is I'm gonna change the grade that I gave this tint, which is very rare for me. In my last video, I gave this tint a grade of an A. Was it an A or an A minus? I don't remember. I think it was an A. But I am now going to move it down to a B plus because I do think there is a little bit of a learner's curve. Is that what it's called? A learner's curve with it. I feel like you do have to learn how to apply it properly depending on your skin type. So I don't know, I just think it is a little tricky to apply. If you gave me this skin tint like 2 years ago, oh my god, I would have looked like a mess because I didn't know how to like apply makeup properly. I would have just like rubbed it and been done. Although it is marketed as a product that is good, like if you're in a rush and if you're on the go, yeah, it is if you know how to apply it properly. But if you don't know how to properly apply it to your face, you could actually look worse than you did before. So that explains that. All right, that is pretty much it for this video. As always, thank you so much for watching and I will see you guys next time. Bye.